children, welcome to my listening and speaking component. The topic for today is invitations. In this episode, I will be sharing with you how to extend an invitation, accept an invitation, decline an invitation, express sympathy. In English conversation, it is very important to be able to listen and understand what the speaker is trying to say. It is also very important that you are able to reply to the person you are speaking to in a polite manner. You should not only know the grammar and pronunciation, but more importantly, when, why, and in what ways to produce language in the real world. First, there are many scenarios regarding invitations. It is very important for us to know exactly what event we are inviting people to. Have you ever invited someone to your house for a party before? What kind of party or event was it? Look at the different situations I have here. Do you know what these situations are? Let's write them down in the circle map. You can find it in your worksheet. Okay, let's check our answers. Birthday parties, dinner parties, weddings, open houses for festivals. That's wonderful! Now, I'm going to share with you how to extend an invitation to someone. With technology nowadays, we use our smartphones to text and invite people online. So people just write down simple messages and click send. But sometimes it means a lot more when we invite people personally and invite them to an event or a party. And there are different ways to say it. We will start with these two basic sentence patterns. Would you like to plus verb, or I'd like to plus verb. For example, let's say you want to ask someone to your birthday party. You can say, would you like to come to my birthday party? Or, I'd like to invite you to my birthday party. Sounds easy, doesn't it? Now you try. Look at the image given. What is the situation above? How would you extend an invitation to your friend? You can say, would you like to come to my Hari Raya open house? Or you can say, I'd like to invite you to my Hari Raya open house. Let's try another one. How would you extend an invitation based on the picture given? You can say, would you like to come to my wedding? Or you can say, I'd like to invite you to my wedding. Notice that we begin with the same sentence pattern, but you can change the end of the sentence according to the event. What other sentences can you use to extend an invitation? Now that you have learned how to extend an invitation, let's learn how to accept an invitation politely. In most cases, you can say okay or alright. But in order to be really polite, you can follow these suggestions. The first thing you should do is always thank the person who invited you. Then you may use the following responses to confirm your attendance. I'd love to come. That's very nice of you. Of course, I'll be there. Based on the examples we have mentioned before, let's try to respond to each invitation. Let's go back to our first example. How would you respond to this invitation? You can say, thank you, I'd love to come. Or, thank you, that's very nice of you. Or, thank you, of course I'll be there. Let's try with another example. How would you respond to a wedding invitation? As someone is getting married, you may begin with either a thank you or congratulations. You could say, Congratulations, I love to come. Or, thank you, that's very nice of you. Or, thank you, of course I'll be there. What other sentences can you use to accept an invitation? In some scenarios, you may not be able to attend a party. It will be very rude if you just say no to someone. You should always try to decline politely so that you will not hurt the person's feelings. In order to decline an invitation politely, you should always apologize first. Say, "I'm sorry," or "I'm sorry, but I can't," followed by these statements. "I have other plans that day." "I really like to, but I will be busy." That way, the person who has invited you would understand that you are not declining on purpose and would feel offended by your response. Let's try it out. How would you decline politely to this invitation? You can say, "I'm sorry, I have other plans that day." Or you can say, "I'm sorry, but I can't. I'd really like to, but I'll be busy." Let's practice with another example. How would you decline a wedding invitation politely? You can say, "I'm sorry, I have other plans that day." Or, "I'm sorry, but I can't. I really like to, but I'll be busy." And that's how you decline an invitation politely. What other sentences can you use to decline an invitation? The conversation doesn't just end there. If someone has declined your invitation, you should express your sympathy towards the person. We do this to show we understand the person's situation. We can say, "I'm sorry to hear that," or "I'm sorry you can't come." For example, what should student A do in this situation? Student A could say, "I'm sorry to hear that," or "I'm sorry you can't come." What other sentences can you use to express sympathy? We have almost come to the end of this episode. Let's recap what we have learned. In this episode, we have learned how to extend an invitation, accept an invitation, decline an invitation, and express sympathy. When extending an invitation, we can use sentences like, "Would you like to come to my birthday party? I'd like to invite you to my birthday party." When accepting an invitation, we should always begin by thanking the person. "Thank you, I'd love to come." "Thank you, of course I'll come." "Thank you, that's very nice of you." When declining an invitation, we should always apologize first. "I'm sorry, I have other plans that day." "I'm sorry, but I can't. I'd love to, but I'll be busy." When expressing sympathy, you can use the following sentences. "I'm sorry to hear that." "I'm sorry you can't come." Now for your task, choose a situation you would like to roleplay with a partner. You may refer to the situations in the circle map we made earlier. Then, take turns to practice extending an invitation, accepting an invitation, declining an invitation, and expressing sympathy. That's all for our lesson today. Until we meet again next time, bye!